Like, what am I in a harem anime, like a dating simulator? Like, why am I just getting all of these options thrown at me at once in the most random time and location imaginable? And I also felt really bad because my friend next to me was getting dead ignored. One time I was out with a friend, bro. I was getting pizza. Okay. It was just like sit down, nicer pizza place. We would go there on the weekends. This was like high school. And it was like in this like outdoor shopping center area that was like very popular in my area with like the high school kids. And I was sitting there and on my phone, my friend was next to me. We were just waiting for a table to be open. You know, we looked like we were on a date, on God, okay? This girl walks by and like while going into the door, because we were kind of sitting outside by the door, she said like, I know I'm going to sound like I'm capping out of the darkest crevice of my ass, but I'm actually being so truthful because this was bizarre to me too. She was like, you're really cute, by the way. And then just walked past me. And I was like, I know this bitch ain't talking to me. So anyways, back to Twitter. You know, like that's what I did, right? And then she was alone. Then she came out after putting her name in for a table and said some other shit, but like she escalated it. At first when she walked by, she said, hey, and I said, hey back. Then when she left, she was like, you're really hot. And I was like, 16-year-old me was like, okay, okay. And then she walked past, right? Then she met up with like her friend group. Then I'm sitting there and the lady across from me was like an older woman. She was like at least 40, okay? And she was by herself and she was on her phone. And she kept looking up at me like giving me this look like, do you know this bitch? And I was like, I was kind of getting embarrassed because I was like, I don't know this and why the fuck are you staring at me? See, this is back when I was a model, so I was probably cuter back then. You know, I got uglier and more depressed as time went on and more bitter. And probably more sick too. But this is back when I was a model, okay? And I'm sitting there next to my friend again, right? This time he's talking about like TikTok or something. I think he had like one TikTok that blew up where he said like, it was about like rappers being trash and he just said Cardi B or something and it got like a million views and he was telling me about it, okay? And then this group of girls walks up. Like there's like 8 of these motherfuckers, like a horde. Okay, I felt like I ran into I got pulled by a mob group in like a MMORPG, bitch. I needed to start busting out the AoE attacks. Like what the And 3 girls from this group of 8 approach me and they're all trying to talk to me at the same time. They're like, hey, I'm like, what's up? And they're like, what's your name? And I'm like, Quinn. And they're like, I'm Allison. I'm Bethany. I'm Stacy. Like they all like did it. Like it was like, it felt very coordinated. Okay. But in my head, I was like, okay, if y'all are all into me, like, and I only give one of you my number, like, are y'all gonna fight? Like what's happening? Right. Like it didn't seem real to me. Cause I was like, I know my sister sometimes told me, my youngest one time, yeah, sometimes I'll just flirt with dudes for fun. And I remember I retorted back to her and I was like, that's messed up. Or she's like, sometimes I'll ask out guys for fun. And I was like, that's messed up. I hope you get cheated on if you keep doing this. I said that to her, right? Then she got cheated on later. Yo, okay, I cursed her, my fault. But cause like, that's low key messed up. You playing with people's feelings, okay? But so I kind of thought like at the time, like this was fake. I was like, this is one of those situations. Like they're not actually into me. Like, dude, this is fake. Cause it just seemed bizarre. Like, what am I in a harem anime, like a dating simulator? Like, why am I just getting all of these options thrown at me at once in the most random time and location imaginable? And I also felt really bad because my friend next to me was getting dead ignored. Nobody spoke to him. Nobody asked him for his name. They did not give a about this guy. And I low-key felt bad because like, he's not ugly. He wasn't like a 10 out of 10, but like, I just felt bad, okay? And they're like, yeah, I'm this. And they're like, what are you in high school? I was like, yeah, I go to this school. And they're like, oh, we go here. And it's like a high school over or something. And then I was like, oh yeah. And they kept talking to me and chatting me up. And I was probably being dry. I'm not gonna lie. I was probably being a little bit dry because I was very confused. Like I didn't really understand what was happening. I thought it was fake. I also wasn't sure if they were flirting with me or if this was like on some hot, we're a group of girls. Let's pick on this random guy, you know? But I low-key thought they were trolling me. But also part of me was like, maybe they're not. And then they like are kind of like starting to like ask me about like stuff I like to do. It was like the conversation kept progressing. So I was like, okay, maybe they're actually interested. And then right when I started to kind of understand like, hey, maybe this is like a thing, you know? And also, I'm not gonna lie, they were all really attractive. Like I would like not a single one of them was chopped. Okay, not a single one of them. All right, they were all like at least an 8 out of 10 at the very least. Okay, The main girl that was talking to me was like a solid 9. Really pretty, right? I know I'm not ugly. I know I'm above average looking, but like I'm not as attractive as you think I am in my own brain, okay? You know, I was like, she definitely on some Delulu. But she kept talking to me. She had like blonde hair, was a little bit wavy, and the other girl next to her had like really straight black hair, and then there was another girl that had like brunette-y kind of wavy hair, and they were all like swapping and talking as a group with me. And eventually the group of girls behind them, like one of them I think was like embarrassed at this interaction that she was like not really a part of. She was in the group behind, like waiting for the other 3 girls to meet up with them, and walked up and was like, guys, can we go? This is so embarrassing. Like, I can't believe, like you guys are simping there. Like, what is going on? Like, can we just go? And like starts dragging them away. And they're like still trying to talk to me as this girl's like grabbing their arm. And they're like, yeah, so we go to, you know, I really like volleyball. And like, you know, she's like, come on, let's go, Stacy. Like, I'm tired of this. Like, being kind of bitter. I don't know. Okay. That girl, I'm gonna be honest, like, she was the least attractive one in the group. Okay. I'm just gonna say it. Okay. I am. I'm gonna say it. Okay. Because I think part of the reason she was doing this is she was trying to cock block her friends. I low-key think she was a little bit jealous. I'm not gonna lie, okay? That's the only reason I bring this up, all right? I'm not gonna lie, because she was like not doing it in a like I'm embarrassed cute way. She was in like a bitchy like, can we go? Like, this is so embarrassing. Like, what are you doing? Come on, Stacy, let's go. We already put our name in for the table. And I, in my naive brain, thought, oh, they are already showing interest. They will ask me for my contact information because that's how it works. If you approach the person, normally you ask for the contact information. But I also didn't realize at the same time, I was being dry. I was giving drywall, okay, not painted, freshly put up. You could still smell the chemicals, Sharpie smell. Dry. So they probably didn't ask me for it because they weren't sure if I was interested and they didn't want to get rejected. So I didn't ask them. So Bitter Betsy pulled them away before I could even ask them for contact information. Okay. And then I had to realize as soon as they walked away, damn, I low-key cock-blocked myself and Betsy cock-blocked me too. Like, we tag team. Like, me and Betsy, you know, we might have been oppositions, but we had the same goal. And that was to cock-block, you know, our friends and or ourselves. You know, I fumbled, okay? I was literally, I didn't even have to catch the ball. It was placed nicely in my lap. And they said, just take one step and you get a touchdown. And I said, okay. And then drop that like a dumbass. And then I like turned to my friend after this and I'm like, what just happened? And he was sitting there like probably in his own head like, man, all these bitches ignoring me. What the Quinn not even all that for real. He kind of ugly anyways. Like, I feel bad for him. And I was like, what just happened? And he was like, bro, I don't even know. I was like, were they flirting with me? Like, I low-key couldn't tell. And he was like, I guess. And I was like, was I supposed to ask for their number? And he's like, I mean, I think. Like, he was not giving me any solid answers. I was like, buddy, like, I need help right now. Do I go up and walk up to the group and ask for their number? Like, what do I do? He's like, nah, man, that's too much. I was like, really? It's too much? He's like, yeah, bro. Like, what if they just messing with you? And I was like, damn, I low-key thought that too. So now I'm kind of like maybe, you know, maybe my sister's right. And then I went home and I told my dad, and he laughed in my face and called me an idiot for like 30 minutes. Told my mom, told my sister, told my younger sister, and then they made fun of me at dinner. And then I told Jay, and he called me a deflector. And I, to this day, have never lived this down. Okay? Every time I talk about being single, I am called the pussy deflector, okay? Jay be like, yeah, so you always just use counter, man. Like, what's wrong with you? So anytime it is possible for Jay to inject this story into any conversation we're having about girls, he will do it. He will call me dumb. He will call me a deflector, and he will laugh at me after calling me a deflector. So, chat, that's how good my Riz is. It's so good that I do nothing. I get attention, and then I reject it on accident. I'm gonna die alone. I'm literally gonna die alone. It's okay. I'm gonna die alone. It's fine. I'll die alone. It's cool. 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 It's so cool. I'm actually so excited about that. I'll place my grave in between my parents. So like I'm getting hugged by the dead or something. I would say it's in the past, but the minute any of your dates go, give up so easily too. So where's the appointment? Okay. But like they haven't been like they've been like bad. Like yesterday or no, Thursday or Friday. When was it? Friday? Bad. Okay, that was bad. All right, that was bad. Like it was bad. Like it was bad. Like, okay, it was so bad that when I texted the person afterwards to be like, yeah, I don't think this is gonna work, they literally responded with, I already know it's okay. Like they saw me typing and they said, I already know it's okay. And I was like, oh, sorry. And they were like, I'm gonna block you though. And I was like, word. All right. Like they knew. So at least the feeling was mutual. That or they just could tell I was very disinterested. I don't know. I'll get buried between my two parents. As their or I'll get buried between my sister and her husband, or like my friends that are also single and dying alone. Because you know, I know there's probably gonna be a couple of those motherfuckers too.